So let's take a look at this door right here. This thing is a total mess. And I can tell you what's going on so far, and that is it won't close right. I'm over here at 103. We're over here to look for something that may work for those doors over there. We got a couple countertops. Here's some trim. I'll probably end up using not that trim, I don't know. I need like some 1x, and I don't want to use MDF baseboard, so I'm trying to find something real wood.
I got him.
This right here. Okay, what?
What you're looking for?
What am I looking for?
The wedges.
She got the wedges. Alright. And I found this piece of 1x right here. I'm thinking maybe if I cut it in half, because it is real wood, then I can use it for the door over there. That's pretty straight. It's got a lot of paint on it, but I think it'll work. I can pretty much rip that up and do whatever I want with it, make it one piece, and I think I'm gonna go that route. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Rent This Flip That, and today we're taking a look at this door right here. We got a lot of issues. So one of the tenants said, hey, my deadbolt is sticking and I can't get it to lock. Well, she's got more problems than deadbolt. It's all out of whack. I mean, you can see that somebody took this right here and then tried to repair it right there and put a little piece in there. And of course, this over here, this is repaired in 3 pieces too. But we're not gonna worry about this today because this is pretty solid. And not only that, but Kellie's attached her door to that out there, and everything was pretty solid with that. I mean, this is in there and it's fairly solid, but this right here has seen its better days. I mean, it's all cracked up and everything. Seems to be very thin, whatever it is. So I feel like my plan is to take this trim off here and then just take this whole thing out and replace it with one solid piece. Line up these things right here where they line up with the door actually, and then just re-drill the holes in there and just put a whole new apparatus in here. And as you can see right here, this is just some weather stripping, and it has that little crack in there. I mean, if we needed to duplicate that, we would, but we don't have to. I feel like I'm just gonna go ahead and just cut right down this line right here and you know, with a straight edge, and then just replace this piece right here, throw a little caulk in right there, re-drill some holes right there, and then this thing should be able to close. Right now, if you take a look, you'll see that when I go to try to close it all the way, it's very, very tight at the bottom. I see no daylight, but when I look at the top, I can see that daylight because it's loose at the top. Also, you see there's a large crack over here at the top, and then it's tight over here. So initially I thought, well, I just need to pop a screw in there and that'll lift it up. But as you can see, somebody's already tried that trick numerous times. Sometimes, guys, if you got a door that it's touching at the top, but it's, you know, got a gap at the bottom, you can just put a screw on one of these inside ones right here where they'll actually grab the stud and it'll suck that in right there, and that'll make the door go like that. And that way you'll be able to close the door with ease, and it just pop, pop, pop like that. It click-a-cloom. That's how it's supposed to sound, click-a-cloom, when you close it like that. But this is more like a like that, and it's just a lady and a couple kids living here. So we're gonna try to get that thing fixed and get this door where it's operational and functional. So if you guys got something like this going on today, maybe you can take some inspiration from something I do today, or you can come up with your own ideas to share them in the comments. But feels like we've wasted enough time talking. It's time to get on this door and get this thing fixed. Let's roll. All right. So they didn't caulk over here, so I don't have to worry about ripping any of the paint. This is okay, so to get started with, we want to take off this trim on the right side. Make sure you cut the caulk line. That way you don't tear any paint in the process. I just love these little silver pry bars. They're super handy and they get in tight spaces. I believe I got them in a 3-pack from Amazon. I want to make sure I have enough room back here to slide that over, because that was the issue. It was too tight. The doorway is too tight. Let's take a look. See what we have to work with here. So I mean, it looks like I might have 1/4 of an inch to play with in there. I know that right now I'm using 1x, and so if I can cut this, you know, right here, then I should be okay. Go ahead and temporarily remove the weather stripping. This stuff is really easy to install, and you can just put it back in later. So to pinpoint where I want to cut this thing, there is a reveal on here. So I'm taking the tip of my knife and sticking it right on the line. Then I'm laying the blade against that reveal and just following it all the way down. I'm not pressing hard right now. I just kind of want to score it. That way I have my line started. I'll press hard later. So I decided just to follow. There's an actual line right there where I can stick the point of my blade right in the crack right there, and I'm not pressing hard. The reason I don't want to press hard is because I don't want it to get off course. So I'm basically just riding it up against that lip there so that it does cut straight. And then when I come back with my oscillating tool, I can go right in this crack that I'm creating right here. Now once I create the line with my knife, I'll go back in with my knife and cut a little deeper. The whole point of this is just to try to get as straight as possible. Now where they did it in 3 pieces, there's really nothing I can do about that. I mean, I'm just going to still try to come through here and do it on that line right there. But when we put it in, it's always going to be 1 piece. I did that for a little while, and then I got the straight edge involved. Yeah, it's a little bit chewed up down here at the bottom, so couldn't really make heads or tails of where that little line was. So I figured right here, you can see I can rest the blade right up against it, and then still create that straight line. Oh, that's perfect. It goes right up it. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll take it. Look at that. And then right down this side too. I should have did that to begin with. That makes it super straight to begin with. Not that it wasn't straight before, but you know, ain't nothing straighter than a straight line. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and dig this in, get this thing cut a little bit deeper, get in here with an oscillating tool, and then get this thing cut out and show you how I replace it. Alright guys, stick with me. Hey guys, check this out. Hey? If at first the first screw don't do what you need to do, then you should put at least 8 more. I'm not even exactly sure what the purpose of this is. Maybe it's because this broke and they were trying to screw this piece back into this piece right here. So they decided to screw it. And please, if you ever get an idea like that to do something like that in your head, let that thought go, because that is not, you can see it literally split the 1x. It's not going to work. If anything, you want to use trim screws and you want to pre-drill some pilot holes, or you're always going to get that, especially if you load it up. Hey guys, think about this. If you take a glass of water and you drop a golf ball down in it, is the water going to go through the golf ball, or is the water going to be displaced by the golf ball and go around it? Same thing here. This is wood and it's very dense, so if you put a screw in it, the wood's not going to go through the screw. The wood's going to go around the screw, so the screw will displace it. And this wood being all tight and grainy, don't have anywhere to go except for like that. So that's why it split. Let's don't do that. All right guys, let's go fix this. So when it comes to jobs like this, absolutely the #1 tool of choice is the oscillating tool. This thing puts in lots of work, and I'm going to be giving a couple of these away at the end of the year. So if you guys don't want to miss that, I would suggest going down and subscribing and turning on notifications. Hey, and it wouldn't hurt to hit the like button while you're taking a break from the video. Alright guys, back to the video. Guys, you can see that I got this thing cut off, and that's what it looks like right there. So it's pretty straight. I figured it to be 2 1/8, so I went ahead and made it 2 1/4 so I could just rip it off both sides and make it pretty straight through my table saw. As you can see, I've already spliced it out there and made it a 1 piece. So look at that, it looks pretty straight too. So I just got to run that through and then cut it to length. And I may cut it to length first, that way it's easier to run through the table saw. And then we'll come in here and place it where it needs to go. I cut some shims too. And then we'll put that in there and get it to where that door will actually close, and get them holes drilled, and then we'll get the little, little things carved out here too. All right, guys, that's where we are right now. Stick with me. I'll holler back at you just a minute. All right, guys, so here we are. It's right after lunch, and I have got some things. Now, I put this 1x in here. I did have to put it in 2 pieces. I found a piece of trim over here, and it was attached to another piece of 1x, and I started to tear this out, and then I thought, no man, I want that to be solid hardwood. So when I drill my holes in here from here to here, I didn't want to have to re-shim everything because this was already good to go. So that's our next step, is to get this trim put on and then drill these holes. All right, you guys, I think I'm about ready to start drilling some holes. So I wanted to show you how I got this. So if I close that door right there, that creates suction. And if that door wasn't there, I got this thing where it would just shut like it's supposed to. So if it had a latch there, you can see it's real nice. What was going on was over here, this hinge was way too far in that way, and this one was too, so it was really making it bind up. So we pulled those hinges out. It looks pretty extreme, but that's the way it was supposed to be to begin with, right there. So that really just needs to be filled in with some Bondo or something like that. And as I close it, you can see it freely just closes. So now what we're gonna have to do is, you can see I made my marks right here and right here, and the way that I got that is just by closing this up and watching as it lined up. And you can see it's like that right there. That's what I did, and same thing up there. So, and also I want this thing to be able to close, and then you can turn the deadbolt. I don't want you to have to push real hard up against the door to get it to lock. So that's what we're trying not to do. All right, so I'm gonna get these holes drilled and put these plates back in, and hopefully we'll have this door fixed. All right, hang with me. Let's go. Alright, so to start with, this one right here goes here. And I want it to be able to just latch in there. So it looks like the center is right there. I want to center that thing up just like that. Bring that around just like that. Alright, so see how it's got a line here? That should be creased around your little thing right there. So I wonder if I should go ahead and put the trim on first. That might help. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and put the trim on first. Through on that one. Oh, look at that, guys. I think that's gonna be perfect. I like that. And then our center is right there. Boom. Yes, sir. All right, so I'm gonna throw some screws in it right now and see how that goes. And if it's good, then we can go ahead and take our razor knife and score this around here and try to set it in the door frame just a little bit. That'll require a chisel and some razor knives and things like that. So that's what we'll do right now to get started. I think that's gonna work, huh? I probably need to come back here and just make that straight a little bit. Made it a little bit straight on this side here. Just like that, and then that way when I slip this thing in here, it's coming back there where I actually wanted it. You see the actual line right there, so we're good to go on that. All right, guys, it's time for the test on this thing. I'm gonna go ahead and screw it in, see how it goes. Alright guys, so here is the finished product. Went ahead and got it painted so you can see it all wrapped up. I think it turned out pretty good. One thing I did notice though, and that's just the way it is when you're closing the door, when you're leaving, it slams pretty good. Let me show you from outside. I mean, I got this thing dialed in, it will just close. Check it out. I'm just gonna pull it and you see it closed up pretty good. And the deadbolt does work pretty good too. However, when you're on the inside, closing in it, there's a bunch of air in between. So it's just a little bit, it's not hard to close, but you can tell that there's air in between there, so that's it. But other than that, it turned out perfect. I like it, and the deadbolt, they show you, boom, and let's see. Just like that, y'all, boom, locks, so she's done. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this one, and I hope to see you on the next one.